right, that looks really fast. Let's go get him. I think it's a Lamborghini. Alright guys, so in front of me today I have a 2023 Suzuki Hayabusa that my friend Stephen Hunt was kind enough to let me take out today and do a review on the channel. This 190 horsepower, 110 foot-pounds of torque Suzuki Hayabusa 1300 cc's, capable of doing speeds up to 200 miles an hour or more with just simple upgrades of flash and exhaust. I mean, literally, this thing is a beast. This is the motorcycle that got me into sport bikes and riding, other than like seeing like a crazy expensive Ducati and be like, maybe one day I'll get that bike. This was the bike that I thought that I could always get, but was always like, dude, 1300 cc's, who gets on a bike like that? You'd have to be nuts. Like that was always my mind frame then. Like when my friends would have one, my friend Dustin had a white one, we did Sharpie marker all over it. If I have a picture of it, I'll show you. My friend Craig's house that I lived at for a little while, his neighbor had one. He had a Gixxer 1000. His neighbor had a purple like Hayabusa, and just a lot of fast guys. My buddy had the orange one that was really fast, and you know, you just, these were like, you had this bike, you were unstoppable. This was the bike that everybody wanted to beat because they're so fast. Now of course we have some stuffs like the H2, the ZX10 RR, even a regular ZX10 with a tune and a flash for doing 200. So you know, the S1000s, those bikes weren't heard of in 2003. You know, it was this was the bike, this was the end all be all. If you had this machine, you were the king of the freaking streets, right? So now I have one in my possession that we are able to ride today. First impressions, like, I've already ridden it and I'll show you that clip here. Right out of the gate is how narrow it is and just how wide, dude. This thing is so wide, and when you're on it, I mean, this, you would feel like you're just on a monster of a bike, but it just feels really good and low to the ground. Like this is insane. It's lower than my Ducati. Lord, dude, this thing is like butter smooth. How? Suzuki did a phenomenal job with this motorcycle. I mean, this thing is just butter smooth, and it's like you don't even feel like you're moving. And honestly, I can't really tell if I am, because I'm so used to looking at a digital gauge of speed. But I like this old school, like, you know, gauge here. It's actually pretty dope. Golly, was I doing 80 already? Third gear. This thing's fun. Hell yeah. Just down the street, but now we're going to take it a little bit farther, and I'll tell you guys my thoughts on it. Okay, so throwing a leg over this bad boy. Kickstand, it feels so nice. Like, it is a very wide bike. Like, it's a big boy. Look at this big boy. Oh yeah, nice and wide, but your bars are narrow, so you know, you get like an aggressive feel. But at the same time, when you're on this bike, you're not like, when you're on it, you're not like super hunched over. You can be, but like when you're just riding it, you kind of feel like you're on a naked bike a little bit. Now, obviously, we all know that this is a super sport touring machine, meaning that this bike was really made to go really fast for very long periods of time and have the rider be comfortable. And I can tell you right now, you are going to be comfortable on this bike. So, let's give her a start. Oh, it's just nothing. This sounds better than a Suzuki. I mean, they just sing, man. They just sing. And, you know, the Ducati is a sick bike, right? It has a very distinct sound, but it doesn't sing like this. I mean, Ducatis are Ducatis. They do their own thing. But, man, there's just something about that sound. Like, you put an exhaust on this thing, whew, you got a whole new bike. All right, first gear. First gear is hard to find. There it is. Okay. You got to kind of find that G spot on the clutch. Alright, so I don't think we can go around here. We gotta watch for nails and shit. Again, you guys know this is not my motorcycle, so we do have to be very, 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 very careful with it, because I am very thankful for him to allow me to take this very, very expensive, very fast motorcycle out of his possession and into mine. There's decided to be something about people, you know, like, you know, they let you take their bike out, like, you know, unsupervised. Like, go ahead, take my brand new freaking motorcycle. Like, honestly, I don't have that amount of trust in people, but I don't know, maybe if it was somebody I knew and they were doing reviews and I could trust that they weren't going to beat the shit out of it, I might, but it is quite scary. So thank you, Steven, I really do appreciate it. And I do owe you, let you ride my bike, Ox. You know, it would be fucked up for me to be like, you can't ride mine. So whenever you want, man, we'll go for a ride. You could take mine, and I would be more than happy to take this bad boy out on another rip, because I'm honestly thinking about buying one at this point. All right, so let's go. Woo! Oh yeah, daddy. Oh yeah. Oh man, this bike is just absolutely butter smooth on the takeoff. Such a good bike. Oh, you're a good boy. Good boy. We're gonna go a little farther here and then turn around and go back to Tesla. But oh, I love it. I love how freaking smooth and fast this thing is. Sheesh. The Suzuki Hayabusa, ladies and gentlemen, in the possession of Hardcity RainDrops, highway ripping it, 4th gear, 100 miles an hour. This is a beautiful machine. It rides good. Look, we're stuck in some traffic here. Now, this is not a bike that I'm going to be sitting here weaving through cars, but it is very nimble. It is a very nimble bike. Now, if this was my bike, I'd probably split these cars, but this isn't, you know, I don't want to do anything reckless, so not my bike. But this truck should really not be in that lane. So, man, it just really, it is so smooth. Gosh. So smooth. Oh, I love it. I really love how smooth this thing is. It needs an exhaust, Steve. You need an exhaust on this thing. Yes! Oh, my God, I love it! I freaking love this bike! Oh, it's so comfortable. The seat is really, really comfortable, guys. And like, I'm just chilling on this thing. Oh, you know what I really wanted to check out? Where's the cruise control? How do we do the cruise control? Oh, this is something we should have looked up. We'll pull over and look that up, because I definitely want to check that out. But man, how nimble this thing is! Holy crap! I would not expect this bike to be this nimble, like, at all. It is such a smooth motorcycle. I'm really, really impressed with this. Like, and these grips are actually really nice. I don't even know that I changed them. They're pretty damn comfortable, honestly. Oh, I could ride this bike all day. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So I think if I was interested to buy a Suzuki Hayabusa, what are some of the things that I would be wanting to get or wanting to know about the bike? And I think one of the biggest concerns with this bike that people may have is how powerful the bike actually is. This bike is 190 horsepower, capable of doing speeds up to 200 miles an hour. Now, if you don't pull the throttle back like a nutcase, it's not going to go that fast. So honestly, you don't really have that to really worry about. I mean, just don't hammer the throttle and you won't go into outer space. And really, that's it. It's got a couple different power modes. You know, you can switch the power modes up and slow it down and give it less of the beans and the way the cylinders fire and all that other stuff. You know, all that, you know, mumbo jumbo, tech mumbo jumbo. You guys don't want to bore you with all that stuff. You know, it's just, it's got the modes, you switch them, it slows it down. You know, and that's all you really need to know about it. We don't need to know how or why, it just does it. So, it's really good on these turns, too, by the way. Actually, really freaking smooth. Big bike, man. And it's, for being a big bike like this, it don't feel like it. I feel like I'm on my, I mean, it's just, I don't feel like I'm on a big giant bike like this. You know, it's faster than freaking shit, and that I can feel. I mean, this thing does 130. I'm doing 130 right now like it's absolutely nothing. That is insane. I love it. I love it. It's a really fun bike. We're gonna turn around here. That is far enough, because I don't want to stop. I don't want to turn around. I want to ride this thing all damn day, guys. I mean, I really do. I don't want to turn around. I don't even want to give it back to him. You know, I love it. I'm really impressed. I think this is a really good bike for the stuff that I like to do too. So this very well might be the next option of motorcycles I get, because it meets all the things that I like in a bike with the look, and then it's also extremely fast, and you can ride it for friggin' ever, you know, because it's, you know, got that sport touring. Oh, I should have turned around right there. You can ride it forever because it's just it's so comfortable. So it allows you to ride this bike for very long periods of time and not get restless. And look at the handling. The handling on this thing is exquisite. Like, seriously, I can't believe how nice this bike is. I mean, I can. It's a Suzuki. It's not cheap. It's not a cheap bike by any means. But like, I honestly think this bike is so underrated anymore. And because you have bikes like the H2, you know, and it's like, but the H2, you can't, the H2 is not going to be as comfortable as this bike. It's just not. That bike is made for one thing, doing smackdowns. This bike has to be made into a bike to do smackdown. Now you can absolutely, you know, you can absolutely smack some guys around on the road with this bike. But you have to, you know, do a couple things to it to really give it that, you know, smackdown level type of bike. It is a little bit jerky though. I find a jerkiness in it. But you know, I think that's, you know, most motorcycles do that. But there's a little bit of jerk, and I think that's a throttle play that I'm feeling. I'm just not very used to. But man, it's such a comfortable bike, and that's the one thing that I would argue with it against the H2. If you're debating like, oh, I want a super crazy fast motorcycle, the H2 is literally meant to just obliterate people. This bike is made to ride across the country on a sport bike, and you can absolutely do that on this thing and be very, very comfortable. I think the comparison to it would be more like the ZX14, right? That would be more like in a comparison to this Hayabusa. But my initial impressions of this motorcycle is like, for the things that I do, like, I don't race people, you know what I mean? Like, if I had the money, sure, I'd love to get an H2, and if anybody wants to let me take theirs out, I'd be more than happy to. But like, I wouldn't really necessarily want to own one. Like, it's not on my bucket list bike to own. This motorcycle is so comfortable and so aggressive looking, and it's so buttery smooth. It's fast. I mean, it does all the things, guys. It does absolutely everything you want. Such a good bike. And the brakes work really well. I'm happy with the brakes. The way they feel are nice. It's very, very comfortable. You know, the way these here's this bonehead here. The way these rear sets are, and just the way you're like kind of sitting on it, it's really comfortable, and I actually do like it. I like the way it's, you know, you're not like hunched over the whole time on it, you know, like you really kind of feel like you're on a naked bike, but not. You know, you could never make this bike into a naked bike. I mean, it's too fast, you know. But that would be funny if somebody like made a Hayabusa naked bike. And by the way, that bump that I just hit back there on my Panigale, because that thing is so light, it like flies off that thing. This thing just kind of eats it, man. The suspension is really good on this bike. It's very, very comfortable, and I don't feel any heat. And that's one thing that's really troublesome about my bike, is It's not a daily motorcycle, although I daily it. This is a bike you can daily. You can 100% daily this bike, and I would, and I think Steven does. So it's really good in that sense. It's man, this is an all-around just really good bike, man. It's a solid choice for most people who are, you know, wanting a bike that they can ride long distance on a super sport bike like this. See ya. So fun. Oh, what the hell is that? Little Dorito bag or something? Jesus. I can't believe how smooth this thing is. This is cruising speed on this bike. Oh my god, it's so stable at these speeds too. Like very, very, very stable. Now again, I've gotten my Panigale up to 170, and that video is about to come out. And I see these guys on Instagram ripping their bikes 170 plus through cars, and I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. That's insane to me. But you don't even feel like you're going that fast. Like on my bike, when you're at like 120, I mean, well, my bike's so loud too. Like, you know, this thing is just, it just zips right along, man. Like you're just, like it's nothing. It's insane. I love it. I love how smooth this thing is. And in fifth gear, when I power onto the throttle like that, golly, it's really crazy. I love it. Oh my god, I absolutely love this bike, guys. This is a really good bike. Oh my god, I love it. I'm having so much fun. And like for me, like, yeah, bikes are great. Like any bike can probably put a smile on your face, but this thing is just it's a rocket. It's a fucking rocket. It's a freaking rocket ship. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. This thing is good lord, y'all, this thing is fucking fast. Look at these people. Like, what are you doing, bro? These people can't drive. Oh, I absolutely love this bike. I can't believe how smooth it is. It's like glued to the ground too. We got a pretty gnarly turn coming up. Try to get around this guy here. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is a freaking gnarly turn. Let's lean off this bad boy. Oh my god, dude. This thing is awesome. Not gonna push her too far, but oh, such a smooth bike. Oh my god, I feel right at home on this thing. Like right at home. It's just such a, oh man. Oh, we got a bike car up there that looks really fast. Let's go get him. I think it's a Lamborghini. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, baby. What luck. What luck do we have today? Come on, bud. Look at you. Oh, he's texting and driving. You're one of those guys. Wimp. What a wuss. You don't text and drive in a fucking car like that, you noodle. Anyway, this thing will smoke that car. Because that dude don't know how to drive, and I can tell. So, Steven, I beat a Lamborghini in your bike. I told you I'd take it easy. He chickened out. No, but a real driver, this bike has no chance. I don't know, maybe. It'd be a close one, I guess. I don't know. I'd love to race him, but he's too busy fucking text messaging while he's on a highway. Look at the airplane, guys. Oh, what a cool view. Hayabusa and a jet plane. Yeah! One-handed rip. Oh, this bike is fucking gnarly, guys. I love it. Oh, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing? Man, it's such a comfy bike too. Like, I think that's my favorite part about it, is how actually fast this thing is and how comfortable of a motorcycle it is. Like, my wrist doesn't hurt at all. These people suck. My wrist doesn't hurt. You know, the seat. I can't believe how comfy the seat is. Why do you need to do that? Why? Why do you do that? Idiot. Anyway, the seat is really, really comfortable, and that is one thing I really like about this. The Panigale is, like, that's the thing, that bike isn't made to, like, be on for long periods of time. You know, that bike is made to go on a racetrack. This is not a track bike. The Hayabusa is not made for a racetrack. Oh, wow, we don't want to be behind this fucking guy. Jesus, dude, really? What an idiot, bro. Here's another moron. Dummy. Lots of dummies out here today. But yeah, this bike is quite literally made to go long distance and, you know, do it comfortably and fast if you need to. The Panigale is a track machine. This is the farthest thing from a track bike that you can get in a sport bike type look, and that's what, to me, the Hayabusa is. Now that's somewhat factual, but also, I guess, kind of like up to the user. But you'd be pretty pressed to find a Hayabusa on a racetrack, honestly. I mean, unless they're just testing out stuff. But man, this thing, around these turns too, it's just like so smooth, and man, it really feels good on these turns like this. It handles very, very well. I feel like I'm glued to the road. Like, look at my fingers are loose. I'm loose on this thing. Like, my thighs are real tight, but the bike just goes where you want it to go, man. It's just so nice. Oh. Well, guys, that is something else. This bike is awesome. And so, in case you guys are wondering, a full tank here hit me at about $11, obviously 93 in there. It's got a 5-gallon tank, so you can go quite so quite the distance with this gas tank, and it's a big gas tank, and again, that's what gives it that super sport touring kind of aesthetic to it, because you have that big tank and you can go a long distance. And just look at how freaking I love it. I freaking want it. I want one. I mean, gosh, I love it. So, by the way, guys, because now I have a full tank of gas in this bike, and I don't think I mentioned this, but this bike weighs almost 500 pounds. You can get her down to about 450 with some carbon upgrades and some stuff like that. But this is a very heavy bike. But I will be honest with you, you don't really feel it at all. I mean, I don't feel like I'm riding a 500-pound bike. Now, you know you're on a bigger bike for sure, but 500 pounds, you don't feel that 500 pounds. Guys, for 1,000 likes, I will take this Harley out for a ride. Look at this thing, guys. I like this bike. I want to ride one. That's a really clean Sportster, I guess that is. I don't know. I don't know much about those things. They're cool, though, and, like, I do like all bikes, and I really like the wrap on that bike. It's a good-looking bike. But, man, it's a shame. Gotta give back the Hayabusa. It was an awesome experience. I absolutely love this motorcycle. Let me lock his let me lock the steering for him here. Okay, we are good. And that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts below. Like, share, subscribe. Check down below for Raven Moto. Get yourself some armored cargo joggers. These are really good if you're a motovlogger. Tons of pockets, Kevlar lined armor. They're breathable for summertime, and they look good. And they have other colors coming out. You can use my discount code Hardcity, all caps. That'll get you 10% off. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.